Okay.
Thank you. All right. So I'm Kristen Fogel. I am the rooftop producer of 10th Avenue Theater, also known as Club Fringe, and I'm here with Haste Theater. 3 of the members out of, do you have 6 or 7 members? 6 members. Wonderful. We're just going to talk a little bit about your show and maybe your past show and some of your thoughts about San Diego Fringe in general. So tell me a little bit about your new show, The Hideout.
So our new show, The Hideout, is set in the 1920s in an underground boudoir. It's a little bit seedy and saucy, but it's run by 4 Greek gods who like to play around and manipulate humans. And they tell the story of Theseus and the Minotaur. And the rest, I'm going to leave a secret, but there is a little bit of singing, as in our past show, and music, a little bit of tap dance, and yeah. The wait and see for the rest.
Very cool. Thank you for being so ambiguous.
Sorry.
I'm going to try to get off the rooftop and see it at some point. Why don't you talk a little bit about Oyster Boy? You guys were such a success last year with it and everything. Hello? Yeah, it's on. It's totally on. Hello? 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 Testing, 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 testing. Testing, testing. Hey, there I am. Yay. So Oyster Boy was such a success here last year. I don't know your origins. Were you guys doing Fringe festivals a long time before that, or was that one of your first?
Not really. We started last year. No. I just talk like that.
Yeah, talk like
it's easier.
First mic problem, so.
I can shout. I don't know. We started last year to do all the Fringe shows, all the Fringe festivals. So we started with Rome Fringe Festival, and then we came to San Diego, and then we went back to Camden, which is London. But yeah, that was one of our first Fringe festivals that we've ever done.
How did you even hear about San Diego Fringe Festival?
Well, I was just browsing on the internet, and I was like, where do we have friends? Which city we have friends in that we can stay for free? And she was like, oh, I have a family friend in San Diego. I was like, great, let's see. And it popped up. And I was like, great, just do it.
Very cool. That's
Yeah.
awesome. And you guys taught a workshop not too long ago with Actors Alliance, right?
Oh, yeah.
I tried to go, but so sad. How did that go, and what was the workshop? And tell us
It
a
went
little bit
very,
about that.
very, very well. We actually didn't expect it, because we are used to do workshop with children's.
Uh-huh.
So with children, not children's. Sorry, I'm Italian. And yeah, and like up to 18 years old. So,
Okay.
but we had lots of people coming and lots of professionals. So it was very interesting. Our workshop is based basically on our rehearsal technique. So we do lots of games and lots of playing, because it's all of our shows are like devised by us. So we don't have no director, like no one that tell us what to do. So we need to try all together to come up with something that works.
Very cool.
And that's how we do it.
How long have you all been performing together? And when did that happen? How did that happen?
Well, we trained together on a master's program in London at a place called St Mary's University, and it's in Twickenham. And there's 6 of us, and we were actually the whole contingent of that year. It was just 6 girls.
Oh, wow.
And I remember sitting down on the first day, and we were looking at each other, and we were like, well, this is going to be interesting.
Just us.
Yeah, and
I tried to turn you down.
luckily, luckily we just gelled really well together. I think I speak for everyone when I say this. And just we had a lot of fun working together. And we never really fight either, which is kind of weird, because we've been on the road now for 8 weeks, and the only time we've had a fight is when we were hungry, and then we ate some food and we were fine. So
some of my volunteers get very hangry, as we say.
oh yeah, hungry. That's yeah. So that's how we met. We've been performing together now for just under 2 years, really, but we've only been at Haste Theatre since Oyster Boy last year. So it's kind of like our anniversary to come back to San
Aw,
Diego. Yeah.
That's so nice.
I know, it's nice.
That's very exciting.
On this very rooftop.
Yeah. Wonderful. So have you produced the 2 shows, or have you produced several other shows, and this is just what we're seeing of?
This is our second show that we've devised as a company, The Hideout. We think it's more of like I mean, as much as we love Oyster Boy, we've done it, I think, about like 50 times now, and we just wanted to try something new. There are some similarities, there are a lot of differences, and we're really looking forward to seeing what people think about it, because we performed The Hideout once in January in a very different space, so we've changed probably about 90% of the show since
Wow.
that time. So tomorrow is kind of our world premiere of this version of it.
What are some of the changes that you've had to make to accommodate the space? And tell us what space it is that you are, again, performing in for those just tuning in.
Oh yeah, so for you guys tuning in, we are at Spreckles Theatre in the main stage, on the main stage, which is not the raw space, it's the main stage. And our next show is at 9:30 p.m. tomorrow, which is Sunday. The changes that we made since the initial version of The Hideout were we had a live band with us, and it was in a kind of underground, yeah, they were awesome. They're a gypsy jazz band called Nouveau Gadjo, a trio. And we were working with them, and it was supposed to be just kind of like a little kind of nondescript event, and there was going to be a bit of music and a few skits, and it turned into this much bigger project, which was the story of Theseus and the Minotaur, but because we were doing it in a bar, it was very immersive, so we led the audience around, and the bar has all these like antiques and weird things in the walls, so it really like lent itself really well to like us being in amongst the walls and the people and stuff. So yeah, we unfortunately couldn't bring the band with us, and we knew or the bar, yeah. And we knew we'd be performing on a big stage, and we kind of wanted to make a full-blown at least Fringe length show. So it was just a good opportunity to adapt it. So now we've kind of added a different framework. It's kind of a story within a story. But it's still got the 1920s setting and theme, and we've got the Greek gods, and like the hideout's run by Dionysus, we call him, or Dionysus, the god of like wine and merriment, which in the initial version he was like the speakeasy owner, so it translated quite well. He's the lord of alcohol, and he was providing prohibited alcohol to the masses. So yeah.
Very cool. Have you had a chance, maybe not, to see anything else during the Fringe Festival, or any recommendations, things that you might want to see?
We saw 2 things so far. We've seen 2 things so far. I think we're on day 3 of the Fringe. Thursday, we don't know what we were doing. Yesterday we kind of got our act together a bit more, and we went to go and see, first of all, Tin Shed's Dr. Frankenstein's Travelling Fruit Show, which was amazing. So good.
Yeah.
But really funny, really clever, so much energy, and like all, yeah, just go and see it basically.
And they're from the same space you are? You guys knew each other from a Fringe, or I can't remember what the...
No, we
Never met them.
We got in contact
I
with
just made that up. Then.
Well, we did speak to them via email before we came.
There you are.
Contact with them.
I knew that.
Yeah.
I was in on that. Sorry.
It was a connection made by the Fringe, so you guys did a good job putting us in touch. But I think we were both so busy with our shows that it was like, hi, we're going out, it's too late.
We'll see you there.
And so they're from Wales, which is obviously still the UK, but not quite where we're from. But we've hung out with them quite a lot while we're here, and it's nice to kind of have some overseas friends, I guess. And they do quite, I think they're kind of, their style is quite similar to ours. The show's very different, but I can definitely see a kind of a European style and training in like both shows. I'll be interested to see what you guys and like what the audience members think about whether our shows are similar and compared to like some of the American shows and stuff. But yeah, we also yesterday saw Victor Charlie, which was amazing, and we all cried quite a lot.
It's beautiful.
Yeah, and it's really lovely because we've seen some of them and like met some of the, I think the producer of it, one of the producers at APA, because we've been rehearsing there. Choreographer, yeah. So, and Chantel, who was like the lead in it. So we kind of chatted to her a bit, and then to see her actually dancing on stage, because we just see her kind of behind the desk quite a lot, was amazing, and she's a beautiful, beautiful dancer. Like really touching all her movements, and like their duet together just kind of made me cry just through the movement. So it's really good. I definitely recommend that.
Nice.
But we have Bo and Aaron on our list. We were
I
trying
saw
to.
that yesterday.
Did you?
I
We were gonna go, but it was too hard to get here.
Yeah, I was able to sneak down, so.
Our list
Yeah.
is like, there's like 50 shows on our list.
I know, it's very hard.
And we're not even finished yet. We're still like circling things. But that's
Do it
like,
soon.
yeah. That's what's really good, again, because there's so many,
There's so many different kinds of shows from so many different backgrounds. A lot from San Diego. There's so many like national ones, Canada, Europeans. There's the Italian show who were at the Rome Fringe Festival when we were, and they came first. We came fourth. So yeah, we're really looking forward to seeing all the different stuff, and it's really a great way just to bring like a global theatre community to San Diego.
And not only that, but from the production end, we always say, you know, say you're not that into dance, which I'm not always that into dance, but it's an hour show. Like Fringe is a great way to go see something that maybe you never thought that you would go see.
And as we like sometimes used to not really mark out shows, but Oyster Boy was a little bit shorter than this show. It was like 35 minutes or 40, I think, when we took it to San Diego. It's a bit longer now. We'd just be like, hey, come see our show, blah, blah. It's like 35 minutes off your life. And then if you come and you love it, that's great. But otherwise, it's just 35 minutes, you know? Like, and you can go and have dinner.
And it was so adorable. Who knew that I would fall in love with this like puppet, this oyster, you know? My lifelong love of oysters now is due to you guys. So thank you.
Yeah, you can just see so many shows when they're kind of a good length and like such a variety. And also like I think it's really great having Spreckles and the Raw Space and stuff together, because like we wanted to come here to see Bow and Arrow, which we will see, but we didn't have enough time. And so we were like, oh, we'll just catch the next show here. And it's happened to be Victor Charlie, which we were going to see anyway, but it could have been something else. We would have just seen it because we were around, which is really cool. You get to see a lot of stuff that you may not choose.
hidden gems.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad you're all having such a good time here, hopefully. Anything else you want to say about your show, or you want to plug again, or before we wrap it up and let everybody go on to their other shows?
No problem. Well, it's called The Hideout, and it will be at Spreckles' main stage. We open tomorrow. The rest of us are still painting the set for it, so it's going to be raw and ready to go. Yeah, it's on from tomorrow until the 12th. It's going to be interesting because it's the first new show that we've done for a while. Oyster Boy, we've won like loads of awards for, and now we're like, whoa, is that going to happen now? So yeah, just come along with it really. And it's like
really
what
fun
Kevin
show.
said. It's really fun, and it's kind of like what Kevin keeps saying. Just take a chance on something a bit different, and it's something quite different for us. So
We've introduced a lot of our like skills that we individually have. I think like there's a bit of kind of like tap dancing in this. We've got a few more musical instruments. Got a clarinet. So we really kind of like merged all our skills together, but still retaining, I think, kind of like the essence of like energy and stuff that we had in Oyster Boy. So yeah.
and 4 of us play men this time, so you just get to know how we end up doing that. And she's a woman.
Yay!
That was a man for the whole of last year.
Yeah.
Well, I'm sure coming from you guys, it'll be super fun. So thank you, ladies, so much for coming out.
Thank you.
No problem. Thank you for having us.
Thank you.
Bye.